and welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 11th of December, 2022. I know what day it is. I don't know why I have to always look in the corner of the computer. In case I've just forgotten from like 30 seconds ago when I looked. Um, Old habits die hard. That's a relevant one, isn't it? Okay, let's see what your messages are. A little bit of admin beforehand. December, okay, the 11th of December. So if you haven't already seen the messages for the month of December, have a look at them. The link is in the description. The video will be in the end screen. I'm also going to put a link in to the video I have just done on my online course. A lot of people are asking me, what does it entail? What does it include? You know, what can I expect from it? Very difficult questions to answer, actually, because everybody takes something different from it, because obviously you're raising your frequency and healing yourself, and that's going to look different for different people. Some people are healing themselves physically, some people are healing their financial situation, some people are just healing, you know, their feeling of happiness, you know, they're just increasing their feeling of happiness and joy. But whatever you're healing, it could be relationships, what have you, it is going to help raise your frequency. So what you do with that raised frequency is up to you. So it's very difficult for me to say what you're going to exactly on a personal level get out of it, but you will definitely raise your frequency and therefore get something glorious out of it. But I won't go on about it now because I have done a video on it. I'll put the video in the end screen as well. Another little bit of admin. I have to make notes, otherwise I forget things. Past life healing offer is still on. It's still on till the end of this month, which is the end of the year. So if you want that deep level past life healing, you can check out the link below in the description. It will give you more information there. That special offer is on until the end of the year. And also, because people are always looking for freebies, so closer to Christmas, I will do a freebie through YouTube. But for now, the freebie is in my newsletter, which, of course, now if you're not signed up to it, it's a little bit too late. But I often offer freebies in my newsletter. So if you are not signed up to it, and I only send one once a month, so I don't bombard you, and there's an awful lot of content in there. But you can sign up to my newsletter from my homepage of my website at deborahjanesutton.com. Also, if you were to download my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, which is free to download from my website at deborahjanesutton.com, that will automatically, with your permission, of course, add you to my mailing list. So there's two ways there that you can sign up to my newsletter and then find out about these freebies when I have them. And one of the ways, you also get my first book free. So it's all a win-win-win, isn't it? So I think that's it. Oh, except for one last thing. If you are in the local area of Alicante, Pego, then on the 21st of December, of course, at the garden retreat, we will be celebrating the winter solstice, and we have lots of wonderful things planned to celebrate the winter solstice. So if you are in the local area, check that out as well. I will put a link in the description to the gardenretreatpago.com page of the website. And also, while we're talking about the garden retreat, if you are in the local area, my son James is offering a special offer on his one-to-one sound healings until the end of the year as well. So, oh my goodness, so many freebies and wonderful things going on, and celebrations and offers and wonderful activities where we can all express who we really are. Are you expressing who you really are? I don't mean you're human, I mean your soul. Are you expressing who you really are at soul level? Do you know who you really are at soul level? These are the questions. Okay, that can be answered with soul profiles and all sorts of other things. Check out the website. Okay, we've got 3 cards that have come out, they're face down. I don't know what they are. Let's dive in. Oh, here we go. This tells me that we don't always know who we really are, because this woman is in a state of suffering. Well, we create our own suffering. How do we create our own suffering? We create our own suffering through our thoughts, thinking, worrying about the future. When we are creating the future, people don't understand. The future is not separate from you. The future, your future is a mirror of you. That's what people don't understand. Okay, everything is energy, and we live in a universe that is governed by frequency. Your future is a mirror of your energy. So when you worry about the future, think about what you're doing. You're lowering your frequency and then creating from that low frequency. It really is that important. And then people think, yes, but of course this is going to happen because of this, this, and this, because we're only looking at the physical. Miracles occur, but you have to believe in them. How do miracles occur? Miracles occur because you are creating a reality based on the frequency that you are. The reality that she's creating is a pretty low frequency reality, agreed? Whereas if she could let go of all of it, and I want to say, drop the stories, or, and I will have to put a link to this as well. I was wondering whether this one would come up. The most recent Lessons in Awakening video that I've done, I'll put a link in the description, video in the end screen. It's called How to Detach from Your Thoughts. I refer to balloons, and each balloon is an attachment to a thought, and we need to let go of it all. It's easier said than done. I do realize that. I do realize that. But look how tied and restricted she is, and how blindfolded she is, because she thinks that there's no other way. But she's restricting herself. And these swords are negative beliefs that are keeping her from her goal in life, because the castle is the goal in life. If we can just let go of all of this and then choose to believe in miracles, choose to have faith that your frequency, if you can raise your frequency by focusing on what brings you joy, even if it's just for a few moments a day. It's like daydreaming. Daydreaming all those years as a school teacher when I told kids off for daydreaming. You know, daydreaming, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. More time on your own, more time in silence or meditation, and let your mind wander. Let it wander and daydream. Daydream about the most beautiful scenarios. Daydream about the most beautiful people in your life. Daydream about what you want to do in life. Imagine your perfect day with the perfect people in the perfect place. Now put yourself there and feel it. Because by feeling it, you are putting your vibration into that beautiful, loved, loving, peaceful, joyful, pleasurable, whatever you want to call it. You're putting it into that frequency, aren't you, when you're daydreaming? When you're daydreaming something beautiful, right? But you're putting your frequency up there. And it's like acting, but it's okay because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between acting and not acting. This is why, like, for example, your body, the universe is responding to your body is responding to the universe. It's like an energetic thing. So it doesn't matter what you do to raise your frequency. You might think, well, I'm just pretending. Pretend away, I say. Pretend away. Because think about it this way. Let's do it at the opposite side, the other end of the scale. So people watch horror movies, and they know it's on a screen and it's not real, but they feel it inside, and they're on the edge of their seat and they're feeling like that. I mean, it's madness. I've never done it personally. A lot of people like it, no judgment. But, you know, you're literally bringing fear. You're creating fear. You're putting your body into a state of fear. Okay. And then obviously when you go to bed that night, that's why people then start, oh, you know, what's going on? They can't sleep because they've created that frequency of fear within them, which will get reflected back to you. This is why it's madness to watch horror movies. But anyway, a little bit of judgment there, I guess. But let's take it the other way. Daydreaming. Daydream your perfect scenario, you doing your perfect job with the perfect people. What's right for you? It doesn't matter. It's different for everybody. You know, what is it that you want to have around you? What do you need to have around you to make you feel loved and secure? That's a good question. What do you need to have around you to make you feel loved and secure? Because whatever it is, just daydream it now. Daydream it now and visualize it and feel it. Because the more you feel that frequency within you, it will get reflected back to you. So I see it as a reflection. Okay, but some people might see it as in the universe will bring you. The universe will bring you whatever it is that you feel. The universe doesn't bring you what you want. The universe brings you what you are, and the universe brings you what you feel. So the more time you can spend daydreaming, the better. Because she's obviously doing the opposite and thinking, but I haven't got enough money and I can't do this. I'm restricted because I haven't got enough money. I'm restricted because I haven't got the people I need around me. I'm restricted because I can't do what I want to do. I'm restricted because you see how restricted she is? And she can't see, she doesn't understand how energy works. So the next time you say to yourself, I can't, remember this message and ask yourself, can you? Are you sure you can't? Because remember what Henry Ford said, if you think you can and you think you can't, you're going to be right both times. And I can. I thought this when I came to Spain and realized that the verb I can or to be able to is actually the same as the word power. And if you're sway testing, which I'm a big fan of teaching people a sway test, you know, if you say I can, you go forward into a state of expansion. And if you say I can't, you can feel yourself going backwards in a state of contraction. Because there are infinite possibilities and you can do anything and everything you want. But the trouble is we accumulate all these balloons. I can't do this because I haven't got enough money. I can't do this because I'm in a relationship and don't have the freedom. I can't do this because I'm not living in the right place. I can't do this because I'm not good enough. I can't do this because I'm not healthy enough. You know, we've got all of these balloons. We've got to let go of all of those balloons. We've got to let go of the balloons. We've got to let go of the stories, all these stories. You know, anyone that says, oh, I can't because I have this medical issue, or I can't because I have, drop the story. Drop the story. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. It depends on your belief. If you believe it can, it will, obviously. But because you can't imagine miracles coming in, because you can't imagine your life changing overnight, that's why it's not going to. You see what I'm getting at? It's your belief that's carrying everything. Let's just have a look at the next one. Yeah, we've got the High Priestess. We've gone from one extreme to the other. I mean, she's the most psychic card in the deck. She's the most spiritually aware. She's the most powerful. There's her fears tethered at her feet, and she's well read. Okay, and these are the pillars I see of polarity and duality in the third dimensional uh, physical world and in the 4D, I think, as well. And she's rising above that. You have to rise above this duality, the duality that says, you know, something is good or bad, something is right or wrong. You know, there is no right and wrong. There is no good and bad. There is only your thinking and your judgment. It's only your thinking and your judgment that is making things right and wrong. So, I mean, I just made horror movies wrong, didn't I? Because I judged them. But somebody else, they might really enjoy that and it might be fun for them, you know? So it is my thinking that's making it wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? But you need to look at all of your thoughts and where are you making things wrong? Where are you judging things and making them wrong when they don't need to be? Moon. Right, we've got three cards, two of them major arcana, always. The reading gets more and more powerful. The moon is, because here's the moon. She's got it tethered at her feet because it symbolizes unconscious fears and she's not having any of it. She's not playing that game. She's not playing a fear game, okay? But unfortunately, we still are for a while, because the moon symbolizes these unconscious fears. And again, we've got the pillars here of our future lies in rising above the duality, rising above the right and wrong, what's good and bad, rising above all of that, because that's where we get a lot of this from. A lot of our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, come from our thinking that something is right, something has to be a certain way, it's wrong if it's that way, you know. So really this week, it looks like this week is a week to really reflect on your thoughts, especially the ones when you're on your own and you're daydreaming. And then, so whatever you're daydreaming and you're bringing that frequency into your energy field, the question is, why can't you bring that into your reality? What's stopping you? And then listen to the answers that you give yourself. Listen to them. They will all be beliefs that can be changed. There will be beliefs that can be changed. Does it have to be that way? Can I release the fear? Can I release the fear? We're all changing. A lot of people think they don't have the freedom. And a lot of people think they don't have the freedom, especially if they're in a relationship or if they're a parent. You know, it's easy to feel like you don't have the freedom, all the time, all the money. I haven't got the freedom, the time, or the money. I mean, I understand all of that. But you know what we need to do is we just need to bring in little bits of it. You know, just give yourself a little bit of freedom, you know, with a childminder or your partner or whatever, a little bit of you time to do what you want, to bring it in, to bring that daydreaming activity in, even if it's on a small scale, and even if it's just a little bit, spend a little bit of money on it. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your future. You're investing in creating heaven on earth for yourself. So just bring that daydream in a little bit at a time. Just like one evening of freedom, just a little bit of money to do what it is that you want, and just bring it in poco poco, I want to say in Spanish, little bit by little bit, because it's going to help you raise that frequency. It's going to help you raise your frequency, which is what is going to create your future, because your future lies in your frequency. If I haven't said that already. This is also a deeper level of healing. I find there's a lot of healing cards in tarot, and I find that the moon is your deepest level of healing. So you might want to think about the past life healing special offer I have on at the moment. But this is very much about that next layer. It's that next layer of healing. Because the moon symbolizes your shadow side, the dark side, the parts of us that you know we've disowned, the parts of us we've disowned again from our thinking, from our stories. I was wrong. I did this, you know, and then we don't want to know. And then we try and justify ourselves, and we try and make out that, you know, what we did. It's okay if you don't judge yourself for your unconscious behavior. It's okay. Don't judge yourself for it. You know, everyone's looking at themselves as if are unconscious, if we've never been unconscious, as if we've never committed anything in inverted commas wrong. We're judging it as wrong. We've all been unconscious. We are the whole universe in one human being. So how can we not have been unconscious? How can we not have behaved unconsciously? Of course we have. This is the shadow side. You may not even have done it in this lifetime. What's coming up, this is a deep level of healing, but often I find this. I'm trying to think of an example. Let's just pick an example of, let's say, racism, for example. So you could be in this lifetime very anti-racism, you know, really, really anti-racism, and you're angry with people that are racist, and you're despising them, and you know, we need to love what is, right? But you're despising them and you're hating them and, you know, going to town on it. Yet we are everything. So I often will do these past life healings and find that perhaps that person that is so anti-racism in this lifetime actually was very racist in other lifetimes. And that energy has stuck. You've got 50 trillion cells. In fact, some people say 70 trillion cells. I don't know. I haven't counted them. But in the some of the cells of your body, there's still going to be those elements of racism. Okay, they've come from other lifetimes, they could have come inherited, they could have come from your culture, and we're mad if we deny this. It's so important that we get out of denial. I've got a video on that as well, the importance of willingness and getting out of denial. I'll put a link in the description. So the point is, we hate these people that are racist so much, but actually it's a part of us, because we've had past lives where we've been racist maybe, or sexist, or whatever we've done, whatever unconscious, intolerant, I should say, behavior. And then what you're doing is you're actually hating yourself. So the people that are more upset about it in this lifetime are actually the people that have it in the cells of their body. Because remember, it cannot bother you on the outside of you if it isn't within you. Now, I talk a lot about this with emotions. You cannot experience an emotion, it's not created outside of you. It's a reflection of the emotion within you. But it works not just with emotions, but with beliefs as well. So if you're really passionate about, if you're really anti, and you have loathing and hatred for racist people, that's my example I'm just using, that is because it's within you. Okay, and people don't want to hear that. And people don't want to hear the truth. I mean, Rumi said, you are not just a drop in the ocean, you are the whole ocean in one drop. You are not just a human being in the universe, you are the whole universe in one human being. The only way that you can heal these issues is by loving yourself wholeheartedly, forgiving yourself for anything that you've done, any behaviors that you are judging as unconscious. We have all behaved unconsciously. Our path is one of evolution. Maybe this lifetime you're not behaving so unconsciously because you're so evolved and you're so awake and you're so spiritually aware. Okay, but can we not forget that we are healing the collective? And by being angry and having hatred for anyone or anything that we're viewing because they are behaving unconsciously, that is a reflection of a part of us as well. So we need to, somewhere along the line, accept that people behave unconsciously at the beginning of their journey. In fact, it's unconscious of us now not to realize that. Okay? But we have evolved from very unconscious behaviors. And if we're still hating and loathing people, that's still unconscious, isn't it? And especially as it's a part of us, it's a part of you. So this is what self-love is to a greater level. Can you forgive yourself? Because if you can forgive yourself, you're going to be able to forgive others. And then when you look at it, as in you are the creator of your own experience and you have created it for the purpose of evolving, okay? And we evolve more readily from adversity. And very often we are the own cause of our own adversity. And adversity is caused by unconscious behavior. So basically, you've behaved unconsciously. It's how you have chosen to grow. We choose to behave unconsciously to help each other grow. We've seen this before. I talk about this in the path to forgiveness. Okay, when souls choose to incarnate and they'll say, okay, so because it's so important for you to learn to love yourself, I'm going to incarnate and I'm going to have a relationship with you and I'm going to treat you really badly unconsciously. I'm going to treat you really unconsciously, really badly, so that you learn to wake up to the power of your own self-love and that you learn to have some respect for yourself. I'm going to treat you without respect because I'm going to reflect back to you the lack of self-respect that you have. And I'm going to wake you up to that and the importance of loving yourself. So actually the souls that have behaved the most unconscious are actually helping us wake up to where we are unconscious and where we are not respecting ourselves, loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves and everything else. Because we are ultimately this divine being with no fears. because we've mastered our thoughts and mastered our emotions. Okay, but until we get there, we need the people behaving unconsciously, and we need to behave unconsciously in order to wake ourselves up and each other up. So when you understand it from that soul level, I think that's easier then to see that there's no judgment. Let's stop judging. Let's just stop judging. We can observe unconscious behavior. Okay, so we can see somebody behaving in a racist manner, and we can observe that it's unconscious behavior on their part. We're observing it. We're not condoning it. We're not approving of it. Okay? We're observing it emotionlessly. We're not triggered by it because it's no longer within the cells of our body. But if it triggers you to see that, it's because you have it in the cells of your body. And then that becomes a forgiveness matter for you to understand that you're judging and that you are judging yourself. Ultimately, when we judge others, we're judging ourselves. So then we can observe unconscious behavior, okay, and it's unpreferred behavior, whatever you want to call it. But it's not affecting us. We can just see it as a path. We can see it as behavior that's going to wake people up. You can even see it as a blessing then, when you can see, okay, that's going to wake a lot of people up to how that behavior is not acceptable, that behavior is not coming with us into heaven on earth. You know, you could observe it and make a choice. We create our reality from our choices. So you can observe that kind of behavior emotionlessly, make a choice. That's not coming into heaven on earth. I'm not bringing that in because it's not resonating. It's not triggering anything within me. So the reality and the future that I'm creating for myself doesn't have, for example, racism or whatever unconscious behavior we're talking about. It's not going to have it. It's not going to be in the reality that I'm creating because it's not within me. But if it triggers you, it's within you and it's asking you to not judge. It's asking you to work with that. It's asking you to drop your stories, drop your judgment, let go of the balloons, however you want to word it. Forgive others, forgive yourself. I'll put a link in the description to the path to forgiveness. It's so relevant. And by the end of that, you realize that you're just creating your reality for your own growth, and therefore there's no judgment. And if there's no judgment, there's no need to forgive anyway, is there? It all boils down to judgment now. But that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope it does. A lot of fears and unconscious thinking. Swords are mental processes. So there's a lot of unconscious thinking there. Realizing that we can drop it all, drop the fears, drop the stories, drop the balloons, let go of the balloons, however you want to word it. Stop judging. This is a deep level of healing and a deep level of understanding the shadow side. Understanding your shadow side, understanding that if you are hating or loathing anybody on the outside of you, it's because it's in the cells of your body and you have been everything and everyone. You are the whole universe in one human being. And the sooner you can realize that and stop judging yourself for that, you'll be able to shine a light on it. And that's how you release it from yourself. Therefore, it's not, the frequency is not in your body. Therefore, the future that you are creating is not going to have that unconscious behavior in it. That is how we change the world. Oh, I hope you followed that because I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. But I think I've just included, I don't know how many spiritual lessons in one video. But I think that's where we're at the moment, at this stage of the Great Awakening. Anyway. That's how we change the world. That's by changing ourselves and by not judging, by dropping stories and all those things that I've talked endlessly about. So this is a week to explore all of that. You've got yourself some homework this week. Lots of videos in the description for you to look at this week and hopefully feel a little bit more like this by the end of the week. And less like this. I love you all. Have a fantastic week. Reflecting on your thoughts. Bye for now.